The moment my husband looked me in the eyes, dropped a DNA report on the coffee table, and claimed my little daughter was not his, I felt my entire world collapse. I had just returned home after months of military duty, still wearing my army uniform and carrying my 1-year-old daughter in my arms. Instead of a warm welcome, I found his entire family gathered in the living room, staring at me with anger. Before I could even defend myself, my mother-in-law ordered me to leave the house. Just when everything seemed lost, a senior army general unexpectedly walked through the front door. He quickly realized something was terribly wrong and calmly questioned the so-called DNA evidence. Within minutes, he exposed that the report had no legal credibility and advised everyone to stop making accusations without real proof. His support gave me the strength to walk away with my head held high instead of leaving in shame. That same night, the general encouraged me to stay calm, avoid emotional arguments, and let facts reveal the truth. I moved in with my closest army friend while searching for legal help. My husband flooded my phone with angry calls and messages, trying to make it seem like I had abandoned the family. The following day, I returned to collect my daughter belongings and accidentally discovered something that changed everything. My husband's laptop displayed messages from another woman celebrating that their plan had worked perfectly. They discussed the fake DNA report, embarrassing me in front of the family, and making sure I would leave the house without fighting back. I quietly photographed every message before leaving. The deeper I looked, the worse everything became. My attorney discovered that thousands of dollars had disappeared from our joint savings account while I was serving my country. The money had been secretly transferred into another account my husband had opened months earlier. Even more shocking, he had already consulted a divorce lawyer weeks before I came home. The DNA laboratory listed on the report was not even properly accredited, making the entire document nearly worthless in court. It became painfully clear that this was never about finding the truth. My husband had carefully planned everything long before I walked through that front door. Following my lawyer's advice, I stayed silent and allowed the legal process to unfold. The court ordered a new DNA test through an accredited laboratory where every sample was properly documented. A few days later, the official results arrived. They confirmed with virtually complete certainty that my husband was indeed my daughter's biological father. I expected an apology, but instead he insisted the laboratory must have made a mistake. His refusal to accept undeniable evidence only exposed how determined he was to protect the lie he had created. As the truth spread through the family, everything slowly began to change. Relatives who had watched me be humiliated started calling one after another, admitting they should never have judged me without asking questions. Then my husband's younger sister revealed she had seen him destroy another envelope in the fireplace on the very night I was accused. Soon after, financial records uncovered that he had transferred nearly $40,000 from our savings into a secret account while also sending large payments to the woman he had been secretly seeing. Even worse, new text messages clearly showed that he knew the DNA report was fake from the very beginning and planned to use it as part of the divorce. The other woman eventually contacted me herself. Through tears, she admitted my husband had lied to her as well, claiming we were already separated. Horrified after learning the truth, she handed over every message and piece of evidence she possessed to my attorney. Those records became some of the strongest proof in the entire case. It was no longer simply a marriage falling apart. It had become a carefully planned deception involving financial fraud, fabricated evidence, and deliberate emotional abuse. Months later, we finally stood before a judge. My attorney calmly presented the real DNA results: the financial records, the hidden bank account, the text conversations, and the messages proving the fake DNA accusation had been planned before I even returned home. My husband could not explain the evidence. The court awarded me primary custody of my daughter, ordered him to repay the hidden money and my legal expenses, and limited his visitation until he completed counseling. Walking out of that courtroom, I realized I had not won because I defeated someone. I had won because the truth had finally been allowed to speak. Life slowly healed after the divorce. I returned to my military career, earned a promotion, and focused on giving my daughter a peaceful home filled with love instead of conflict. Over time, my former mother-in-law came to my door carrying an old family baby blanket and sincere regret. She admitted she had believed her son without ever asking whether he was telling the truth. Although I could never erase what happened, I chose forgiveness for my daughter's sake. We rebuilt trust one careful step at a time, proving that healing is possible even after deep betrayal. Looking back, I realized the greatest victory was never exposing a fake DNA report or winning in court. The real victory was refusing to let bitterness control my future. Lies can destroy reputations, families, and trust, but they cannot defeat someone who refuses to abandon integrity. My journey taught me that truth may take time to be heard, but when supported by patience, evidence, and courage, it always finds its way to the light.